Is this the work of the legendary magician Hashina, published in September of 2021? This scary video is tantalizing. While I don't have the full context, the short clip shows some men sitting around a room. Some of the men are chanting. What are they trying to do? Exorcise someone of a possession? I'm not sure. But as the group sits there, a creepy shadow figure emerges from behind a door's fogged glass window. It rises and there doesn't seem to be enough room behind the door for something to remain otherwise hidden. What's going on here? Is it some sort of ritual? Don't close your eyes, because when you wake up tonight, this thing will be waiting for you. A ghost hunter named Jay goes exploring an infamously haunted place known as the Yellow House. The paranormal activity begins minutes into the investigation.
Anyone that's residing in this house, I come in peace. You don't have to be scared of me. I'm gonna get the EMF meter out just so I know kind of what's going on around here. Oh. How you doing? Do you remember me from the other night? We're off to a good start. Well, I will keep an eye on this as we walk around. Keep stepping on though. The heck? Man, I can feel people just walking around behind me. This is so much more active than it was the other night. I swear I keep hearing somebody moving around. It's freaking me out. There was nobody in here when I walked around earlier. Now I have been here for a little bit. Hello?
He crosses back through the kitchen. Watch the sound levels.
Okay. So maybe we disproved that one. I still hear somebody else.
Angry.
Angry? Are you trying to make me angry?
No.
Notice how the ghost says the word angry just outside of a room with a bunch of holes punched in the wall. Something is in here.
I swear I'm being followed. I swear something is walking around behind me, messing with me. And then going around and...
Part of Jay wants to leave, but this is the best paranormal evidence he's ever gotten, so he swallows his fear and sets up one last experiment using his final piece of equipment.
You know what? I actually want to try some... We were getting that stick figure in this hallway, like I was saying, or in this closet. I want to see if... The heck? That ball was just going off without... Look. Thank you for making that ball go off.
He is not moving at all. It's not the floor shaking from his steps. He goes back to the kitchen where he's gotten the most activity.
I know you guys had. I hope this picked that up. It sounded like somebody just tapped on the wall. Keeps wanting me to go back there, but I'm done.
And if you thought that video was creepy, look what happened a month prior when he went exploring a place known only as the Haunted Dollhouse.
There's a lot of energy in here.
I feel it. I heard somebody talk to me, told me that. It's crazy.
He sweeps the room for activity and detects the word spirit when facing the doll. Next, they get a steady indication of EMF activity on the toy.
Just constantly.
They determine the spirit is named Josh and decide to confirm their findings with a second piece of paranormal equipment.
Can you light the REM pod up again? Where's the green? Can you light up the blue? Light up the blue or the purple. Oh, I bet it is.
That's the name I got in that room.
Really?
Hi, Joshua. Is that Morse code?
I don't know.
Is that your friend, Josh? I've never seen one of these things go this crazy for this long.
It's definitely. It's spirits of children. I can feel that already.
Dead.
They hold an EVP session, and while they don't pick up any distinct voices, a final creepy moment does happen.
If you can't see a light, try to go into the light.
While persuading the spirit to detach itself from the doll, an orb just so happens to go past the light and into her. This spirit is either finally being released or transferring itself to a new living host. The National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration aircraft took advantage of flying through Hurricane Irma to show us by taking this horrifying video of the storm outside. As the aircraft flew through the Atlantic Ocean's most powerful hurricane ever recorded, it gained vital information of the storm's path using drop sensors, as well as measuring the storm's intensities via radar readings. Irma made landfall in the Caribbean. Hurricane winds and rains whipped the airplane as it stood in the midst of Irma's power, but slowly the clouds lightened and the blue sky could be seen while the rain ceased. The contrast shows the magnitude and absolute power of a hurricane at full throttle. A YouTuber named Elios Craig claims to have somehow gotten a phone number from someone within Project Zargo. He then calls the number and immediately hears this bizarre message. Listen to this part and let me know if you heard anything being said or if it made you feel weird afterwards. According to internet rumors, one of Project Zargo's main methods of recruitment is through mind control. With that said, maybe this recording contains strange messages that are designed to make you loyal to the Zorgo cause. Also, one more thing. Elios Craig's phone begins blinking red for some reason.
Bro, that never happens. That's so weird. Am I being watched or something?
Let me know if you think Project Zargo is messing with his phone, or if he is somehow doing this on his own. This Area 51 video appears to capture no less than 5 bright lights traveling in a tight cluster. It kind of looks like the government could be testing military-grade flares at first, until the lights mysteriously stop in midair, hover for a bit, and then move in the exact opposite direction. These sophisticated flight patterns seem to suggest that they are piloted by intelligent beings. At the 1 minute mark, all the lights grow intensely bright and almost meld into one solid form, at which point a smaller piece breaks off and moves upwards. This looks like no aircraft that has ever existed before, and as far as many are concerned, it can only be one of 2 options: a top secret government prototype, or else actual aliens. The Waverly Hill Sanitarium in Kentucky has been condemned since the early 60s, though the spirits of its former inhabitants are thought to still roam its rubble-filled halls. Lindsay Rogers leads a ghost hunting team through the dark asylum, and it isn't long before they are engulfed by paranormal activity. It sounds like a door opens, and you can see Lindsay looks right, but the door is still shut. There's a second banging noise that almost sounds like a body hitting the ground. Though without more video footage, we'll never know for sure. A TikToker named Erica R 1971 captures this full moon footage of a potential ghost sighting shortly after her father passes away. Knowing if this was a motion activated camera or not would have been a big help determining if this was a real sighting or just a glitch. If the camera really does turn on by itself like I think it does, coupled with the recent passing of her father, then I'd say this is almost definitely real. These paranormal investigators use a flashlight to communicate with their ghostly counterparts. Published by Mackie and Amanda in April of 2022, the pair explore the haunted Cosmopolitan Hotel in San Diego. The girls talk to the spirits in the hotel, requesting that they interact with this dangling string, and the spirits respond.
Just touch that string one time. Did you see that?
And if you're watching it, because I'm watching you hold the things completely still, I watched like how far it was going up against the line, you know? It definitely moved further.
It looked like someone touched a string about a foot up.
I don't understand. There's no wind.
Me either.
Later, while sitting in bed, they hear repeated noises. They check to see if someone is walking outside on the balcony, but no one's there.
Oh, God. Oh. You hear that?
There's no one here, Amanda.
I haven't seen really anyone at this place.
I haven't either.
Then the water starts to drip in the bathroom, and it continues to sound like someone is in their room.
I think room 11 was the one that they... Sounds like someone's in here.
They ask the spirits to turn the flashlight off and then back on. After asking the spirits to repeat this act, the flashlight turns off and the REM pod in the bathroom goes off as well.
Can you turn the flashlight off? All the way, completely off. Mikey, turn it off.
The spirits continue communicating with the girls through the flashlight. They find out that they're speaking to a ghost named Isadora. She confirms it's her through the REM pod.
Okay, wait. Isadora, if that's you, okay, I was gonna say, can you go over to that REM pod we have in the bathroom?
That red light.
That red light that was just beeping. Can you make it start going off again? Can you make it start beeping?
We'll give you like 15 seconds. Just like she said yes.
Oh my God.
The correspondence continues for a long while, with Isadora being very communicative. Mackie and Amanda return to talk to her later.
I feel like no one's here.
No one's here right now. Just give it a minute.
Isadora? What was that? Wait, what is that? What's shaking?
They check out early because they're understandably creeped out. It sounds like there's many unseen residents of this hotel, and they're not leaving anytime soon. The story of Sally in the Wood goes something like this. Located outside Bath in Somerset, there's a road that passes into the woodland of Brown's Folly, which locals refuse to drive down after dark due to the terrifying legend surrounding it, known by locals as Sally in the Wood. It is said that no birds can be heard chirping through this stretch of the forest, as a girl has her life taken there and now haunts the place. Some say they've heard a screaming child in the dark forest, and some have seen a full-bodied apparition of a girl racing into the road at night. The legends are all over the place about Sally in the Woods. According to some, Sally was an 18th century gypsy girl who was held captive in a tower, where she perished. The website Wiltshire Paranormal claims that this story is entirely fictional and that the name Sally in the Woods more likely came from a battle that occurred at Brown's Folly in 1643. As Sally is slang for skirmish, this could very well be true. However, the Bathford Society claims that Sally was an actual person, but not the only one who passed away in a tower. This legend claims that Sally was a witch living in a hut in the woods. Local records put Sally's passing at the age of 100, although that wouldn't really explain her appearance as a young girl ghost, unless Sally the witch had the ability to appear youthful. Regardless of what you choose to believe, the generational legend of Sally in the Woods lives on, and the resulting fear can be felt throughout this video, published to YouTube by the Abandoned Prepper in March of 2020, examining various parts of the house up close. The Abandoned Prepper wanders through this haunted place solo. Some parts of the house appear deeply aged, while others recall the more recent past. There's an old piano, a strange lock on the door, and an old photo box in the basement that appears as though they're from another century, but other parts of the home look as though they're from the 60s or 70s. Prepper says that he can hear water running and regularly hears strange noises. Shortly after entering, there's a definite sound of glasses clinking about upstairs while he is downstairs.
My days, this is massive. I'm getting a bit scared now. Hello?
Prepper calls out to alert anyone else exploring the house to his presence. He also said the house has recently become a hotspot for urban explorers. He returns to the first floor and then upstairs to the second. He keeps hearing strange noises throughout. Birds are chirping and the sound of running water.
What? Someone's flooding the basement.
He compares the house to Amityville and says it definitely gives him bad vibes. While he explores the adjacent house, at one point he enters a room. Notice there's no blue ball here. He heads upstairs and there's a loud sound of something wooden slamming or falling down. When he returns to that same room later, there's a blue ball in the middle of it. The call is coming from inside the house. He also finally discovers where the sound of running water was coming from. The basement of the house is being flooded. There's a hose passing down there, so it looks like it was done intentionally. As he's getting ready to head out of the home, he turns the corner to descend the stairs. That's when you hear the strike of a piano key.
Off. Hello?
While at the same time the hallway light bulb is swinging back and forth, he races down to catch whoever struck the cord, but there's no one. Finally outside, he turns back to look at the dark shell of a house. You can literally feel the creepiness shed away from you. Joe Rob TV sees something on the side of the road that's so creepy. He isn't even sure if he was imagining it or not, so he has to take a second look. This time he has his camera ready to record.
What the f? Oh, what the f? Oh, what the f?
The strange person slowly approaches with their hands in their pockets, almost like they've been expecting him, and Joe Rob quickly speeds off. It's hard to tell if they are wearing a Halloween mask, or if their facial features are really that oversized and distorted in real life. If they are wearing a mask, it must extend under the shirt because I can't see where the mask ends and their neckline begins. A Russian police officer is roaming the snowy countryside when he comes in close contact with a creature that has since never been identified. The officer is traveling at a low rate of speed when suddenly something huge dashes across his headlights. The strange figure is only visible for a moment, then it's gone. Many YouTubers suspect this to be a Russian Yeti. Others are sure that it's a man in a suit or even someone who is completely naked, though this theory is hard to believe because a person in Russia would probably freeze to death if they stood outside naked for very long. Look closely and you'll see that whatever it is, it's moving quite fast. It only takes the thing about 5 or 6 steps to fully get away, and I should mention that the snowbanks on both sides of the tracks appear to be very deep. An average sized person would be struggling way more to get over them. Zoom in and you'll see what looks to be white fur hanging off of its body. Also, it looks to be hunched over and its arms almost touch the ground. If this is a costume, it's very convincing. This creepy and unexplained video has been unsettling people since 2016. It starts with a man who looks like he is just goofing around at first by making a weird voice and singing loudly. His mannerisms become more bizarre and aggressive until finally he is shrieking like a wild animal and destroying the whole room. When he regains his composure and lowers the blinds, you can see that he is standing in the middle of a children's room. There's no sounds of a child though, which makes me wonder if there ever was one to begin with, or if it's been somehow silenced. Have you ever played Peekaboo with the paranormal? Redditor Paranormal Purgatory has posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit. He writes, an apparition was caught peeking around the door at a 150-year-old farmhouse mansion with tons of EVPs and footsteps and a child asking for help and wanting us to play. At the moment in question, the Redditor is walking down a hallway when his battery starts running out. As he approaches a room, something is clearly peering around the corner at him. It moves quickly out of sight once it notices that it's been seen. The Redditor shouts "hey" at it. The thing is definitely a figure, not a lens flare, and can't be explained away as some technical glitch. Moreover, the Redditor clearly saw it in reality. The team thinks they, without a doubt, caught something paranormal on camera. Do you? I sure do. Have you heard of spontaneous combustion? That's one theory about what's happening here. Published in May of 2022, Hassan Barbar is investigating this creepy abandoned structure at night. He turns away for a moment to look into this mysterious empty room without any floorboards. When he turns back, a bag on the floor has caught fire somehow. He watches as the flame smolders and continues to grow.
نار. ايش يعني هيك؟ ايش يعني تحرقني مثلا؟
It burns the bag away until there's little left but ash by the time Hassan puts it out with a ceramic plank. Now the question is, who or what started the fire? I have a feeling Hassan is not alone in this abandoned building. After a series of unexpected passings in his family, YouTuber Slightly Scared 2012 experienced this. Do you see a face in the fabric? The YouTuber believes it's his departed cousin's face. The cousin in question passed away, falling from a highway overpass, and within hours, this face appeared on the seat of the chair while the YouTuber was sitting in it. I wish we had a picture of his cousin to compare, but nevertheless, I definitely see a face here, but whether it's pareidolia or not is the big question. In this creepy video, ghost hunter Luan Mendez and his team are investigating this spooky abandoned building.
O Renato aqui passou pra gente.
As they approach, one of the crew sees something, but what they find is not meant to be found.
Opa! Tem alguém aí? Ó, tem gente aqui, irmão. Calma, calma, calma. Nossa, irmão!
Despite the freaky scene they enter, and they soon regret it.
Morcego, morcego. Oh, olha!
Ele tá mostrando o dedo, ó.
Tá mostrando o dedo, Júlio.
Tem sangue na boca dele.
Nossa!
Ai, puta caramba! Tá cheio de morcego atacando, Júlio, cuidado!
After being bombarded by the bat, the team later hears a noise in the abandoned home. They look around to find its source.
Opa! Hã? Ai! Nossa! Sai daí! Meu Deus do céu! Sai daí! Você tá louco?
Of course, they flee, but the mystery of the figure draws them back in.
Oh!
Esse cara deve estar com mal intenção com a coisa, Irma.
Olha aí o prego, ó.
Cuidado!
Eu falei aqui que eu me rasguei, irmão. Aqui o prego aqui, ó.
Como assim, velho?
Tá doendo meu braço, velho.
Essa coisa aqui tava na mão dele, ó. Essa coisa aqui.
But the hooded figure has now disappeared. It appears to me as though the crew walked straight into a ritual of some kind. But what type of ritual is the million-dollar question? This video was supposedly found on a deep web server under the file name EBE 1992 Eiger. EBE is short for Extraterrestrial Biological Entity, and the uploader thinks Eiger could be a mountaintop location in Switzerland. Obviously, 1992 refers to the year that this video was made. Anyway, what's especially odd is how the camera person moves around in a hurry as they record still photograph after still photograph of this strange gray alien. I get the impression that they were recording classified evidence from an area that they did not belong in. While exploring this haunted place, YouTuber Rodolfo Augusto and his crew are trying to escape the creature. Let's see if they do. They find a mysterious jar inside the home, but as they're examining it, a bang is heard.
Alguém abre, hein?
Não sei.
Opa, cacete!
Quem tá aí?
Eu acho que é o vento, mano. Tá vendo? Ó, ó, olha ali, ó. Ó.
They try to open the jar, but again hear a noise.
Excelente.
Não é evento, não.
Você vai tacar um negócio?
Foi reação.
They push this door open, but are too scared to enter.
Será que tem alguém aqui? Ui. Isso aí não é vento, não.
And yet it won't stop.
É vento.
Que é aquilo, velho?
Que é aquilo ali na porta?
That's when they finally see it.
Eu vi.
That's all I need for my dreams to forever be nightmares. A person is paying their respects in the cemetery when a haunted figure emerges behind them. Look closely, and at 20 seconds you can see the Spectre lean forward and reach out for him before pulling back and withdrawing into the woods. If this is not edited, then it almost looks like the spirit is trying to provide some kind of comfort to someone who is mourning their loss, or maybe they are attempting a possession. It's hard to say which. After a while, the mysterious figure loses shape and completely fades away into a shapeless mist. Real paranormal ghost sighting in the cemetery, or just computer-generated effects, you tell me. A YouTuber named Confuseo Mental orders a box off the dark web that he's not so sure about, so he puts on some gloves. The first thing he unfurls is an old scroll with what I think could be ancient Hebrew text. Translate it if you can. I will admit the paper itself looks like it could be artificially aged, but who knows? Wrapped and locked in a tiny casket with similar text adorning the top. Again, translate if you can, please. Something tells me that this is either a blessing to help guide this tiny soul to the other side, or else a warning telling others not to open it. A warning that's totally ignored as he continues to handle the object. I'm curious about what these numbers across the top with the letter E at the end could mean. I'm sure someone out there is smart enough to figure this all out. He puts a mask on ready for the stench of something rotting, but instead finds this extra creepy demonic doll and look into the center of its eyes at 26 minutes and 13 seconds. They're reflecting light. Now that's certainly creepy. Thank you so much for getting me to 50,000 subscribers here on my Clips channel. If you want to support, please press that subscribe button. Let's get to 60,000 subscribers next. Thank you.